Welcome to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Friday, July 7th at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to attend a program at the Snyder Academy, which is located on Broad Street in Elizabeth. This program is titled Hamilton and His Associates in Elizabethtown. The events for the day will be provided both in English and in Spanish. It will highlight Alexander Hamilton's relationships with key figures from the city of Elizabeth, historical talks, a book signing, theatrical presentation, a musical concert, and a history fair. For more information, please call 908-353-2131. Later that afternoon, around 2 o'clock, I'm going to attend the grand opening and a ribbon cutting of Circle Barbecue, located at 984 South Elmore Avenue. For more information, please call the Chamber at 908-355-7600. And on Monday, July 10th at 11 o'clock in the morning, the grand open and the ribbon cutting of Back to Motion Physical Therapy, located at 171 Elmore Avenue. It's on the second floor in the city of Elizabeth. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our public information office at 908-820-4124. And for this week's show, in the first segment, I'm pleased to be joined by the Councilman of the First Ward, Carlos Torres, also the Council President, and for the second half, the Second Ward Councilman, Nelson Gonzalez. So please stay with us after these brief messages.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kane University.
Welcome back to Our City, where I'm pleased to be joined by the Council President and the Councilman of the First Ward, Councilman Carlos Torres. Councilman, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
When was the first time you were on the show? A while ago, right?
2013.
Yeah, and so when did you get on council? Was that the year?
That was the year I was appointed on City Council in 2013, January 22nd of 2013.
And then you ran for election in that year as well, right?
Correct. I ran on a special election, and then the following year I ran with my council colleagues in 2014.
Getting ready to run again?
Absolutely.
What was that, 2018, right?
2018.
We're a little way away from there. So how's it been going as a council president? What's a different role, right?
Absolutely, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I get to work with our director closely. I get to sit with our BA every other Tuesday and go over the agenda and the questions that I don't understand or know. She fills me in, and it's great.
Did you ever think you'd wind up being the council president, the councilman in the city of Elizabeth?
Absolutely not.
Wasn't a game plan for you.
Absolutely not.
Kind of fell into you. So you're of Puerto Rican heritage, right? And
correct.
You've been organizing Puerto Rican Heritage Month in our city, flag raisings and things like that. So what are some of the things you did to commemorate last month, Puerto Rican Heritage Month in our city?
Well, the Puerto Rican Alliance of Elizabeth, this is actually our third year. I'm the president. My first year on City Council, I think I attended every flag raising that there is. And I remember leaning over to you and saying, did the Puerto Ricans take a year off? But there's a lot of rich culture and history and Puerto Ricans in this community who has done great work. And I just wanted to recognize them and say that, we are a part of Elizabeth. I know according to our 2010 census, we are the majority of the Hispanic groups here in Elizabeth. So I just wanted to bring that pride and show our youth the culture and our history here. So we recognize individuals who've done great work here in the community and that goes above and beyond. So it was a great turnout.
Before you get to the recognition of the individuals, you organized a flag raising, which was pretty well attended, and some dancing. Tell us about that.
Well, I got to be honest with you. This year, our organization faced many obstacles. Many people on our organization had some type of surgery or death in their family. So we were contemplating not doing it. But the outcry from the community, we knew that there was two things that we have to do as an organization. One is to give out a scholarship, and two was to raise that flag here in the city of Elizabeth. So yes, it was well attended. I was hoping more people would have came out, but overall, I'm very pleased on how
The
it was
dancing
attended.
performance is pretty cool.
Yes, the kids did a wonderful job. I'm not going to take credit for that. We can thank.
No, because you're not a dancer.
I dance, but not like that. So my vice president, Jessica Martinez, put that routine together. Victoria Rivera and her husband, they did a.
Well, Victoria's daughter was one of the
Oh,
dancers.
she was amazing. She was amazing.
And tell us about the committee and how they get involved in planning. It takes a long time.
Correct. Well, we sit down as a committee and we go over who do we think is worthy to be recognized for their outstanding work here in the community. So then there's other ideas where we say, how can we bring more people to the city of Elizabeth? So we decide to bring a band. We decide to, we cooked our own food. The food was amazing. Again, I can't take credit for that. I got to give the credit all to my staff. But
So you don't dance and you don't cook?
no,
No.
I just do all the talking.
The scholarship. I met the young lady who was receiving the scholarship. She was extremely pleased and talented. And where's she going to school? She's going to, I think, Montclair?
She's going to Montclair, and this actually is our third year, but we decided as a group to follow her through her college career. I know school is very expensive nowadays, so we decided to say, not just help her freshman year, but to follow her through her whole career. So her sophomore, her junior, her senior year, she will be receiving a scholarship from the Puerto Rican Alliance of Elizabeth.
So what else is going on in the First Ward there, Councilman? Tell us about the First Ward.
Well, the First Ward, we have, of course, we have our 4th of July event, fireworks display. We also have July Fest. That's July 19th. Which will take place at 200 Broadway in the city of Elizabeth from 4 to 7. After that, we have...
Well, July Fest actually started in the courtyards of Pioneer Homes in Glory Manor as a way to get people out of the apartment houses during the hot summer and tell them,
Correct.
meet them on the streets and say hello.
This is actually, I believe, their 26th annual. This is their 26th annual event. It's just a great event for the community. Most of the residents come out. There's a lot of literature. There's a lot of vendors there, just helping residents with certain needs. And then we put on a great show for the kids. We have a lot of bouncy houses. Of course, we have the spray park there at Jackson Park now. So it's a great event. The kids love it. The adults love it.
You got that grill on the street with the hamburgers and the hot dogs.
Yes, that's when I cook.
That's when
When I cook.
You can't screw that up. Just throwing a hamburger on a grill, right? And let it get done.
Well, last year, me and Freeholder Sergio Gonzalez had a contest. Who can flip burgers without hitting the floor, and I won that one.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. So tell us about the movies you've hosted down there as well.
Well, it's just it was one of a 3-part series. We did a movie called Moana. It was based for our youth, our children. I co-hosted that with Commissioner Maria Carvalho, who's the Vice President of the Board of Education. We're actually going to host a movie night for our seniors coming up, date to be determined. And then probably when school starts, I'll host another movie night for our youth.
And you mentioned the spray park at Miller Evans Logan. You saw the one up at the Mickey Walker Center. He said, hey, how about we get this property? You were the driving force behind it. So tell us, is it open again this summer?
It's open. It's open now. Yeah, I just wanted to serve the residents in the First Ward.
How about that bucket that spills? Huh? That's got a lot
That's a big bucket. The kids love it. The kids stay under there. I mean, I know it's open from 12 to 6. I guess the hardest part is well attended. The hardest part is telling the kids that they have to leave. I mean, they're there as soon as that gate opens, and as soon as that gate closes, they're there the whole time. I mean, it's just great for the community. We're able to service the kids in the Eport area as well as the rest of the city.
So this show airs on July 4th, and tonight's the annual fireworks celebration. You've been there in the past. You've helped orchestrate the fireworks celebration. It's probably the safest spot to have it. It's at the waterfront. Get a lot of people there.
Absolutely. It's well attended. Around 8 o'clock, residents start to make their way towards the marina. It's from the Veterans Memorial Park all the way to Todd Bowles complex. That whole waterfront is well attended. There's people out there. I can't tell you the number, but it's well attended.
And Todd Bowles was there when we dedicated the field. That was a fun day.
That was a great day for the city of Elizabeth. That was a great day.
Yeah.
Here's a man who was born and raised here in the city of Elizabeth, who grew up in the projects, who faced many obstacles in the 80s, and went to college, got his degree, signed on with the NFL team, and won the Super Bowl, and came back, and now he's a head coach for the New York Jets.
Not sure they're going to win a Super Bowl as a coach. It's a good thing he won one as a player.
Well, he's cleaning house. He wants his guys in there, so he's cleaning house, and hopefully he'll have success with the guys that he picked.
Block watch dates. You very extensive block watch meetings, as all the ward councilmen do. We'll speak with Councilman Gonzalez about that in the second half, but tell us about some of the block watch meetings.
Well, my monthly meetings are basically, it gives the opportunity to the residents to hear their concerns and their issues, because of course we can't be on every street. So we have a lot of literature, what's going on in the community, in the ward. We're assisted by a police officer, Captain Ryan. When it comes to police matters, he's able to address those issues. But it's a great opportunity for them to tell me, hey, this is what's going on my street, or this is what's going on around my neighborhood. So, and then we write it down.
Where are the block watch meetings in your ward?
Mine's is at 250 2nd Street. It's on the corner of Port Avenue and 2nd Street. It's a building that Housing Authority owns, and we work well together.
And what night do you have them?
We have them the first Thursday of every month, but that soon is going to change. I'm actually getting my schedule for Union County College. So as soon as I get my schedule, I'll let the community know the new.
You're starting a degree, you told me too, right?
Yes, I went back to school. That was
never too late.
No, I wanted to show my kids that it's never too late. In 1992, I was a freshman at Jersey City State College, and I decided that I became a father, so I had to support my daughter. So I joined the family business and dropped out of school. So now she's 24 years old, and I'm going back to get my degree.
Well, I want to wish you well in it. You got a little one too, though.
I have a little 9-year-old, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the fun one.
I
don't mean to take that away from the other one.
I took him to Top Golf yesterday. He had a great time.
How'd that go?
Great.
So if a resident needs to contact you, Councilman, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call me. My cell phone number is 908-370-5214, or they can email me at councilmantorres@gmail.com.
Councilman, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show, and appreciate your leadership as the council president this year. Look forward to working with you the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For Councilman Carlos Torres, please stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with the Councilman of the 2nd Ward, Councilman Nelson Gonzalez.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by the Councilman of the 2nd Ward, Councilman Nelson Gonzalez. Councilman, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, you've been on a while.
Yeah, it's been some time since I've been back. So.
Yeah, but how many years you got on council now? When was the first?
10 years now.
10 years,
yeah.
And you're in the middle of your 3rd term.
Correct. Yes, I am.
And you're up again in 2018.
Yes, doing it one more time, hopefully.
There you go. So, Councilman, tell us what got you involved 10 years ago.
Well, 10 years ago, Mayor, I was involved in many different things. As you know, I was a committee man for quite some time. For 13 years, I was a committee man. I was coaching baseball, coaching basketball. I was a youth group leader. I was involved in very many boards, different committees. And as a result of that involvement, residents asked me and looked to me and said, you're so involved, why not try something else? Why not try city council? So as a result of that encouragement from the community, I decided to take the plunge, and here we are 10 years later.
Good for you. You've done a good job. You've served as we had the council president on the first part of the show, but you've served as council president as well.
That's correct. I've done it at least twice, I believe. Yeah.
So, Councilman, tell us about the Block Watch meetings. We spoke with that about Councilman Torres a little bit, and you're one of the leaders in the Block Watch meetings as well.
Yeah.
Where do you have them? I know you have at least 2 in different areas.
Yes.
Tell us about those Block Watch.
Yes. I mean, I did more previously, but then I decided to consolidate some of those meetings. So right now, I have about 6 meetings. I have 2 that I do, and then we held meetings like every 6 times a year. I have one at St. Hedwig's Church in the basement. We meet the second Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock. And then I have one over on Michelino's restaurant on the third Thursday at 7 o'clock. And like I said, 6 times a year, we meet different months. We don't meet every other month because there are months like, they say, January and February, that it's cold and it's raining and snowing. So there's not a lot of participation by residents, so those months we don't meet. But if anybody's interested in knowing, they can look on the city website. I make sure that we post them on air and other ways that they can find out.
It's good to stay in touch with the residents. What kind of conversations do you have at those Block Watch meetings?
Well, it's just something that we talk about different issues or concerns that residents may have. Anything from a problem with a tree, to a problem with potholes, to speeding, to vacant properties. Now in the summer, a big thing is high weeds and some residents not taking care of their properties. So those kind of issues come up. They also help me identify other concerns that we may have in terms of maybe doing studies for an additional stop sign somewhere, some additional signage in other areas. So they're very good in that sense. But not only do we talk about issues and concerns, it's also an opportunity for me to interact with the residents and an opportunity to share information, because not everyone knows of all the different activities that are available and programs that are available to the residents. So it gives me the opportunity to say, okay, these are some of the things that are happening here in the city of Elizabeth, or even as the county as well.
So you can bring those concerns to the directors and get the problem solved as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I do. As soon as I get the concerns, we go and we work on them and we get them resolved, and it's worked out very well.
Tell us about the demographics of the people that show up. Are they young, are they old, are they senior citizens, middle-aged?
Well, we have a good mix, I believe, in terms of demographics that come. And everybody's welcome. I mean, they're mostly residents, of course, from the Second Ward, but we welcome anybody to come and be a part of our meetings, to hear, to maybe to add something, take something away at the same time. But we have a good mix of residents that come.
And Councilman, the neighborhood Block Watch meetings, you do these on your own, or you got people to help you run them? Who's part of them?
Well, it's basically the residents. I run them, the meetings. And it's basically me with the residents, or maybe some business owners or some others that may have some interest, things that are going on in the Second Ward, that we meet to try to talk about the issues, concerns, and try to come to some resolution with them.
Now, Councilman, one of the things we talked about with Councilman Torres in the first part, you've been there for 10 years, you're more seasoned than the councilman in the First Ward. He's the new guy on council, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now. So your improvements in the community as a result of the residents' concerns that have been brought up. And talked about some of the improvements that you were instrumental in helping in the Second Ward.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of different things, Mayor, in the ward to help. I mean, we've done some things, as you know, Carteret Park, for instance, recently. Throughout the years, we've maintained the park, make sure the trees and everything is well maintained. We recently were in a partnership with a nonprofit organization. We added some equipment, exercise equipment on the outside of it. In the future, we're looking at that park also to redesign the playground as well as the basketball courts. So that's something that's coming down the line that we're working on. Over at the Erxleben Center also, as a result of our meetings and that, we've been able to address the playground there. One of the first things we did was to put a new playground in the Erxleben Center. We took care of the basketball court, the floor, the bleachers, and we've made some improvements there. In the future now also, we're looking to make some additional improvements in the inside as well as the outside of the building. We need some the new HVAC, we need new windows, we need new plumbing, we need new electrical, and we're looking at being able to do that in the future. Some of our other parks, Matano, which is part of the county, but working with the county, we've been able to make some changes there as well. We added a fence. The fence hadn't been there to safeguard the residents. We had, I remember some time ago, a problem where a kid ran across into the street and got hit by a car. So that prompted us to do that. And working with the county also, I think we probably put the first spray park over there in the city of Elizabeth. And then afterwards, we had others throughout the city that did spray parks. So we've revamped, and thanks to my advocacy, we've been able to bring some of those things to light and address some other concerns also in terms of putting in traffic lights or striping in different areas, paving of streets, and different things like that.
Well, one of the things you were instrumental was making sure that we took over the old Bayway Polish Home.
Yes.
In order to convert that to open space. Tell us about that. It's not done yet, but...
No, it's not. It's not. But that's something, yes. A few years ago, became aware that they were going to sell the property, and I advocated so that, and thanks to your assistance and the administration's assistance, we were able to purchase that property. And my goal is to have that, that area there, we have a lot of recreation. And one of the things I really push for is to have, services and programs for our youth and our seniors. And over there in that area, that we have the baseball field, we have the recreation center, we have the playground. I like to see a multi-field there at the Polish Home. We can play some soccer or something like that. And, we're working on that, and that's on the horizon.
And Councilman, tell us about the sometimes difficult decision. You had a lot of neighbors on Iroquois Avenue, and you're in the middle of it, but they want to convert it to a one-way street. And talk to us about the process and how you engage the neighbors in that final decision.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, that's something that the neighbors have been approaching me about for some time. So I did take the time to go there, Erico, and take a look at it. And it is a narrow street. When one car goes down, the other one would need to pull over in order to be able to proceed. And also,
and parking on both sides of the street make it hard.
Yes, it makes it very difficult, absolutely. And also with some of the development that's going on, there are a lot more people on the block now. Before, there were a lot of one-family homes. Now we have 2, 3, 4 family homes, more multiple homes living there. So we have a lot more residents. So I was approached about it by the neighbors to see us. So I said, okay, well, let me find out first how many neighbors really like that idea. So we did a survey. We sent out a survey to the residents. And the responses that came back were favorable towards making it a one-way. So we've done a study to see now that we know that the neighbors, the majority, are in favor of it. We've done a study, a traffic study, and they've also recommended that can be done, that it's, we should be able to move ahead with that. And we're just now working on that and taking the next steps that we need to take with that. Because South Elmora is a state road, we have to make application to the state. So we'll be sending the study with the application to the state to see if they agree on what we want to do, which is to make it a one-way.
Yeah, because it intersects with the state, so you have to do that.
Correct.
So what happens in the second ward? What kind of recreation? I know we've had National Night Out there many times at Carteret Park. What else is going on in the second ward?
Oh, well, we have all different things that we do in the second ward, Mayor. Every year we have our Easter egg hunt at Carteret Park. I do a tree lighting as well over in Washington Park, which Washington Park was one of my first projects when I came on council. It was an area that, it was
some kind of tire lift in there.
Yeah, exactly. And we weren't using it all, so I looked to the city and said, listen, what can we do here? So we created a small pocket park there. Now we have flowers and we have a tree, and we had a tree planted there purposefully so that this way every year I had in mind of doing a tree lighting, because we didn't have a tree lighting that was being done in the second ward. So we have a tree lighting there, also in the second ward.
For some reason, you always wind up with the coldest day of the year in the tree lighting.
Yeah, it's either the coldest or snowing or raining.
Whenever yours gets scheduled.
But we get through it somehow. We sure do. We have other things that we do. Like I said, in Matano Park, they have many different activities that take place. We also do now the play streets in the second ward. We do it over by Matano Park, and what that is that we get to close off a street where kids can play out in the street. It's closed off, no vehicular traffic. And we have different games for them. We give them different things. I usually donate bikes, for an adult and for a young child. And, we raffle that off, and some 2 lucky people get to take a bike home. But they get to play in the street, they get to interact with other kids, with adults, with the community. And it's a nice thing also that takes place.
A National Night Out held in Carteret Park is always, it's not there every year, but you've had it for a good share of it.
Yeah, actually, we just had it last year.
Right.
We had it last year at Carteret Park. It was a great event. It was well attended. We have many different organizations that come, and talk about drug awareness, drug prevention, crime prevention and awareness as well, and give you a lot of tips on safety and different things. We have the firehouse, the firemen, they come in and they do a display of when someone's caught in a car and how they have to use the jaws of life to get the person out. And we have the police department that have their things that they show. And it's just a great time had by all. Everybody enjoys it. And it's an opportunity for the community to come together.
And actually, the new playground, last week we had Ron Zuber on the show, and the new playground they built in One Park, actually I think part of that borders on the 2nd Ward, on the 2nd and 3rd Ward at the end of Lincoln Avenue, or at the end of Linden Avenue,
Linden Avenue. And Linden Avenue, yeah.
Yeah,
and again, we have a great partnership, a great relationship with the county. And working together, we've been able to accomplish a great deal in the last 10 years that, I've been on. Like I said, Matano Park is a great example. When I first came on, that park, and it's a very used park.
It is.
And it's used a great deal. And when I came on, the bathrooms were not working. And we didn't have the skate park. We didn't have many things.
Playground there.
Oh, they had special abilities playground. That was just recent. That was installed, and it's one of the first in the county.
And it's because of your advocacy to get.
And because of our advocacy and working together, that we were able to accomplish that.
So, Councilman, if people want to reach out to you, what's your email, or how do people reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach me at my number is 908-353-5823. I can be reached by email at gonzalez.ward2@gmail.com. I can be reached in the city clerk's office at 908-820-4133. I'm on Facebook, and any other way, I'm available and willing to meet with residents or anyone that has any interest in helping the 2nd Ward move forward.
Thank you, Councilman, for taking the time to join us on the show and your leadership in representing the 2nd Ward on City Council for the last 10 years.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
In the future. Thank you. For Councilman of the 2nd Ward, Nelson Gonzalez, and the Councilman of the 1st Ward, Carlos Torres, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.